Short history of the battleship Yamato. During the 1930s, the Japanese government planned to expand the Japanese Empire and withdraw from the Washington Naval Treaty, which limited the size and power of capital ships. After withdrawing, the Japanese started to design the Yamato-class battleship. They knew that they could never match the output of U.S. naval shipyards and decided that the Yamato-class battleships should be capable of engaging two enemy battleships at the same time. The keel of Yamato was laid down at the Kure Naval Arsenal, Hiroshima, on 4 November 1937. Secrecy was maintained throughout construction of the Yamato, and a canopy was constructed to screen the ship from view. Yamato was launched on 8 August 1940 and commissioned in the Imperial Japanese Navy on 16 December 1941. The Yamato had a displacement of 65,027 tons, a length of 862 feet and 10 inch, with a beam of 127 feet and 7 inch. The Yamato was the largest battleship ever constructed in displacement and only surpassed in length by the 4 Iowa-class battleships. Yamato's main battery consisted out of 9 45 caliber 18.1-inch guns mounted in 3 3-gun turrets. Her second Airy battery consisted out of 12 6.1-inch guns mounted in 4 triple turrets. The battleship's anti-aircraft guns consisted out of 24 1-inch guns. The battleship Yamato's 12 Campon boilers gave her an output of 150,000 shaft horsepower. That gave the battleship a top speed of 27 knots. The Yamato had a 16.1-inch belt and a 8.9-inch thick armored deck. Her main gun turrets had 26.6-inch face plates. After commissioning, the battleship Yamato, the battleships Nagato and Mutsu became the 1st Battleship Division. On 18 January 1942, the Yamato sank the armored cruiser Nissin as a target ship, off Karahashi, Hiroshima. On 12 February 1942, Yamato became the flagship of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto's combined fleet. During the battles of Midway, Yamamoto had overall command and was on board of Yamato, but the battleship group where Yamato was part of was too far away to take part in the engagement. On the 11th of February 1943, Yamato was replaced by her sister ship Musashi as flagship of the combined fleet. On 8 May 1943, battleship Yamato set sail for Yokosuka and from there for Kure. From May 1943 till July 1943, the Yamato was dry docked twice for inspection, repairs, refitting and upgrades. In August 1943, Yamato returned to truck. From late September and October, the Yamato tried to intercept United States Navy warships, but failed to make contact. In December 1944, the Yamato and her sister ship Musashi were used as transport ships and ferried troops and equipment from Yokosuka to Truk. On 21 December 1943, the Yamato was attacked by the submarine Skate, that hit Yamato with one torpedo. The torpedo made a hole 16 feet below the top of her anti-torpedo bulge and ripped open the hull. A joint between the upper and lower armored belts failed, and caused the rear turret's upper magazine to flood. The Yamato took on about 3,000 tons of water. After temporary repairs at Truk, the Yamato was sent to Kure for repairs. After repairs were completed, the Yamato was refitted and both beam-mounted 6.1-inch triple turrets were removed and replaced by 3 pairs of 5-inch anti-aircraft guns in double mounts. Also 8 triple and 26 single 25 mm anti-aircraft mounts were added. On 18 March 1944, the refit was completed and trials were started till the 11th of April 1944. After being used as a transport ship, the Yamato escorted forces of Ozawa's mobile fleet during the Battle of the Philippine Sea, from 19 to 23 June 1944. On 18 June 1944, there was a chance of a battleship night engagement, but despite the United States Navy outnumbering the Japanese battleships Yamato, Musashi and the battle cruisers Kongo and Haruna, by 7 fast battleships, Admiral Lee declined the opportunity and the United States Navy avoided this confrontation and moved west during the night. Again, the heavy guns of the Yamato remained silent and the Imperial Japanese Navy lost the Battle of the Philippine Sea. After the Battle of the Philippine Sea, the Yamato redrew to Kure. Between 22 and 25 October 1944, the Yamato became part of Admiral Takeo Kurita's center force, with the battleships Musashi and Nagato, the battle cruisers Haruna and Kongo and several cruisers and destroyers, took part in the Battle of Leyte Gulf. The Imperial Japanese Navy responded to the American invasion of the Philippines. The Imperial Japanese Navy would try to attack the landing area by luring away the main American covering forces with a decoy fleet. While en route to Leyte, the center force was attacked on 23 October by the submarines Data and Dace, which sank the heavy cruisers Otago and Maya. After the loss of his flagship, Kurita transferred his flag to the battleship Yamato. On 24 October 1944, the Yamato and other ships of the center force were attacked by aircraft from United States Navy carriers in the Philippine Sea. While Musashi was sunk, the Yamato was hit by 2 armor-piercing bombs and damaged by 1 near-miss from aircraft from the Essex. The Yamato suffered from flooding and took 3,370 tons of water. Kurita reversed course and made Admiral Halsey believe that his center force was turned back. While Halsey retreated his 4 fast battleships off Sama to go after a decoy fleet under Admiral Ozawa, the center force reversed course again toward Leyte during the evening. Early in the morning, the center force found and engaged 6 escort carriers, 3 destroyers, and 4 destroyer escorts off Sama. The Yamato opened fire around 6:59 at a range of 17 nautical miles and targeted escort carrier White Plains. Yamato's third salvo at 7:04 scored a near miss that exploded under the keel of White Plains. The explosion severely damaged her hull, deranged her starboard machinery and tripped all of the circuit breakers in her electrical network. The Yamato then shifted her fire, while Kurita's ships, including Yamato, came under attack from enemy destroyers and aircraft. At 7:30, the battleship Yamato fires a full broadside from her 18.1-inch guns at the destroyer Johnston from a distance of 20,300 yards. 3 18.1-inch shells hit Johnston. 2 of these 18.1-inch shells hit the engine room under the funnel, while another 18.1-inch shell hit the stern close to midships. The power of 3 5-inch guns is cut away. The destroyer's speed was reduced and she suffered severe structural damage. Later during the battle, the Johnston broke in 2 and sank. At 7:54, the destroyer Hoel fires 3 torpedoes at the battlecruiser Haruna, that miss their target and head towards Yamato. The Yamato turns away to port and steams northward until the torpedoes ran out of fuel. Already hit by shells from other Japanese ships, the destroyer Hoel was hit by several 6.1-inch shells from Yamato. The Hoel would sink soon thereafter. After heavy cruiser Chukuma landed multiple 8-inch shell hits on Gambier Bay's hangar bay, the escort carrier Gambier Bay was severely damaged by 18.1-inch shell from Yamato. While Chukuma was focusing her fire on an enemy destroyer, the Yamato hit Gambier Bay again around 8:20, with an 18.1-inch shell that hit the engine room and left a hole on both sides of the ship below the waterline. The Gambier Bay was dead in the water and suffered damage from several 18.1-inch shells that nearly missed her. Gambier Bay capsized at 9:07 and sank. Admiral Kurita ordered the retreat, and at 9:34, the Yamato is hit during an air attack by 2 bombs that damages crew spaces in the forecastle and do slight damage to main gun turret 1. At the 23rd of November 1944, the battleship Yamato arrives in Kure and repairs were made to the battleship. On the 19th of March, United States Navy carrier aircraft attacked Kure Harbor. Yamato received damage from several near misses and from 1 bomb that struck her bridge. After Allied forces invaded Okinawa on the 1st of April 1945, the Yamato was sent to Okinawa with the light cruiser Yahagi and 8 destroyers. Yamato was ordered to beach herself on Okinawa and to act as an unsinkable gun emplacement and continue to fight until destroyed. The ships set sail to Okinawa on 6 April 1945 and were spotted by the submarines Threadfin and Hackleback. On 7 April 1945, Admiral Raymond Spruance ordered 6 battleships to prepare for a surface action against Yamato, but Admiral Mark Mitscher's aircraft carriers were already launched to attack the Japanese ships. The first aircraft attacked at 12:37, and during this first wave, Yamato was hit by 5 bombs and 4 torpedoes, leaving the battleship with a 6 degrees list to port, that was reduced by 1 degree. The second air attack started around 1300, and the Yamato was hit by 4 torpedoes, that gave her a 17 degrees list to port, that was reduced to 10 degrees. Yamato's speed was reduced to 18 knots, and although the battleship was heavily damaged, she was still not in danger of sinking. The third air attack started around 1340. The Yamato was hit by 4 bombs and 4 torpedoes. At 1402, the order was given to abandon ship, and soon the Yamato capsized. While the Yamato rolled to her side, one of the bow magazines detonated in a tremendous explosion. Yamato sank rapidly.